and then experiencing the presence of God through chanting after initiation. Periodical evaluation also continued, and slowly moving toward the highest realms, renunciation and itinerant life. And there he was able to experience both Ram's love as well as his test, and it ended in the fruition. So starting from struggle, it ended in the fruition. There are a few words of Papa, very inspiring words. Transformation comes through grace only. Devotee asked a simple question: how to achieve all that you have mentioned in the book of In Quest of God, Papa? The simple answer is that it all happened by God's grace. It is God's grace that came to him and transformed him. That alone produced the miracle. Our effort is useless. His grace must come to us. Then things happen as they should happen for our uplift and for our ultimate illumination and realization. It is not due to our merit. We can turn our mind towards God only if and when He wills. This doesn't mean that we have to keep quiet. No? We have only to transform. Whatever that comes is coming from Him. When we go through the biographical sketch, we find that everything was done by him. No? But in his heart, he was aware that he is making him to do. Otherwise, while reading, everybody may think, oh, that's the grace. Whatever is happening only by his will, but we are not aware of it and we assume we are doing it. So what Papa meant here was, even right from the start, he was aware that everything was done by him. It's very important. We must contact his devotees and saints. That will quicken our aspiration for him. So it is emphasized that the primary thing not needed for an aspirant is to contact of a God-realized soul. Grace can flow to us through saints. That means it's not physically coming, If it is physically coming, anybody who goes in touch with a saint should get it now. So the grace gets kindled, the moment we go and stand before or have the darshan of a highly evolved soul, suddenly here it opens up. Provided we have that receptivity. So when we go with all this bhavana, when we go to the temple also, if we don't have that bhavana, it is only a ritual. When we go to a saint, we go with that receptivity. Then Papa went there with that receptivity to Ramana Bhagavan. He did not ask anything. He did not say anything, What we have to do is only to pray for His grace. This is all we can do. And the rest must be done by us, done to us by God. Even the prayer we offer is because He makes us pray. See? But we do not know this at first. Later on we come to know that we do everything, even praying, by His grace. Otherwise we have no thoughts or words to pray. The devotee says, oh God, you have put the words on my tongue for this prayer. And now we go to points to look for while reading In Quest of God. After going through, we won't say intensely, but a little more deeper than what we used to do that, suddenly we checked up ourselves without referring to the book. What is it that stands out in our memory the moment we think about In Quest of God? So those points we have put down. Going through the book In Quest of God is a deep learning experience. It is not meant to be an academic pursuit, learning by heart, reproducing, no. nor a cerebral exercise. Inside, we keep on churning with the intellect. It is our response to Period Papa's ardent call, be God, lead others to God. It should be very clear to us. We want to realize His presence within. If this is there in our heart and then we take up, Mataji has assured us that if the reading goes on along with these lines, he is bound to. Yesterday we saw that, that word. He is bound to. Everybody has forgotten. If you pray to Papa with a sincere devotion, Papa is bound to grant you a prayer. So then, be God and lead others to God. A few points have been drawn up to aid the readers undertaking the study of the book for their quest of God. These indicate what one needs to look for while taking up the reading. There could be many, This is from one angle. Everybody can pursue in their own way, but somewhere the process should get started. So first, the prompting he gave, what all points? Hey, look here, you have been reading. You say you are enjoying. You say you got inspired. Now tell me, what are the things that made you to? Suppose this question comes up in our mind. So first we will read. There are about 16. It could be more. So when we take up reading, if this is there in our heart, it might help. First is understanding the great void. Ram, God. The great void stands for Ram. Ram stands for God. So all these things, when he made us to, with one word, he used the word, one word, great void. And he made us to plumb deep with him. Some of it has come in the August vision. There also it is not full and complete. So great void. Second one is trust him. We did not know the meaning of belief and trust much. We confuse that belief is trust, trust is belief. But then that word is potential. What is needed is not mere belief. We start with belief, no doubt. But ultimately we should trust him, means handing ourselves over to him, lock, stock and barrel. Trust him. Then surrender. What is surrender? Elsewhere he told us, you remember? It is not vocal assertion, not a mental exercise, but a state of experience. Even if we keep on asserting, I surrender, it doesn't become surrender. Even I keep on manana, surrender, it doesn't become manana, surrender. Surrender is a state of experience where I feel he is taking me. I have nothing of my own. Self-assertion is zero there. Then universal vision, the aim. Throughout, we found. Throughout this surrender is there. Throughout this trust is there. Throughout that rooted in great void or Ram is there. Universal vision. Nothing that separates him from the rest of the creation. Co-creation. Meditate and chant his name. We only started doing this chanting, Now we understand, right from the start he used the word meditated and chant. That means along with chanting, something else also should go along with chanting. And then constant dialogue with him. Everywhere we find there is a dialogue, inner dialogue. Then everything is his, nothing is ours. not merely dispossessing outwardly, honestly feeling that nothing is ours, everything is his. That is why if anything is asked, spontaneously he has given. There is no thought process involved there. Everything is his, nothing is ours. Everything happens only by his will. And we can't put a standard, it will be like this, it will be like that. At times, he finds interest in going inside the temple and having the joy of, the thrill of the darshan. At sometimes, he doesn't. For example, in Kashi, no word is mentioned about Kashi Vishwanath. When he went to Tirupati, you just imagine. But in Badrinath, it's a different case. In Jagannath Puri, it's a different case. In Chidambaram, it's a different case. So that's why everything happens only by his will. The individual is not there to put a color, to put a label, to set a standard, That was why he was free from all traditions, all conditionings. Because the individual is not there to put all these things. Me and mine, the hurdle. He was able to, right from the start. In our case, we know, but we don't do anything to reduce its hold on us. In his case, whenever any test comes, he knew it was a test to eradicate this me and mine completely. And then, periodical solitude. How many times he has gone into solitude, In spite of an introverted outlook and approach, It has never been extroverted. Still, he felt the need to go in for solitude. Freedom from conditionings, we have discussed. Absolutely freedom from conditioning. It should be like this, it should be like that, no. Universality of religion. He doesn't discriminate any approach to God. All he accepts it as they are valid. Saguna and Nirguna aspects of the truth. Very important. It is we would even go to the extent of naming it as a special, his Saguna and Nirguna aspect is something which we have not heard so far, It looks as if, he is rooted in Nirguna, but at the same time, he sees the entire creation as a Saguna form of God. So it's a wonderful revelation. Then sacrifice. That is the test, that is the exam, Sacrifice whatever we have for the sake of others. Ram's test comes all the time unawares, he was aware of this. So every time when something happens, he was able to take it as a test from him, not an incident which we normally put a label as positive, negative, good or bad, favorable, unfavorable. And finally, to top it all, awareness of his grace. So there may be many such points, but suppose we start with these, So we read one chapter, we go through these points, we try to see, we try to be in that realm, and then we are asking ourselves to what direction I can imbibe. Where am I going wrong? Because the first and second chapter, that covers many of the guidelines. Later on, it is only an affirmation and a series of tests. The what do you call, the groundwork, the preparation, the prerequisites. All these things are covered in the first and second chapter. And later on, and third one was the transition, the leap. And from then onwards, it is only test. We were intensely remembering Chidanandaji's, the sadhana and daily life. Sadhana becomes a reality only when it is tested in our daily life. So out of the 37 chapters, 37, no? 37. Out of the 37 chapters, removing these 35 chapters, if we view it as test. That means whatever we have learned, whatever we have coined out as our goal to be achieved or aim to be scaled, these are all the sadhana portion, and all the rest of the things are all application in our daily life. Sadhana, daily life. Daily life is a test. Chidanandaji Maharaj used to say, unless and until it is tested and proved, it cannot become mine. Yeah, that's the word he said. Yeah. I hear Papa's words, Mataji's words, Rameshwar Ramsa's words, so Brahmana's words, everybody we keep on telling from our memory. But if it has to become mine, I must test it. That is why in the initial stages itself, Papa used to say that you will be able to understand Ramdas's words only through your own perfected experience. Otherwise, you are only reading a narrative, just like any other reading, as a surface level reading. Through our experience, when it comes, then it has entered into us. Then we have really understood it. So that is why this particular points have been discussed, points to look for while reading In Quest of God. As we said, this is only a comma, there could be many. Soon after adopting sannyas in 1999, Muktananda undertook a yatra to various places in India. At times he also retraced the steps that Viral Papa had taken during his itinerant life. Details of this yatra were serialized in the vision. At the behest of several devotees, this column is being reintroduced. It is an accepted convention that soon after taking to the order of sannyas, sadhakas undertake a parivrajaka yatra to expose themselves in the open and to train their inner equipment to dwell on God thought in all circumstances and get fixed more firmly in the goal, God realization. When once sadhakas are outside the ashram, they may find themselves among strangers, and naturally they cannot expect the care, love and concern shown to them while in ashram. Then how does the sadhaka react? Is he in a position to see the finger of God in all events and individuals? Does he accept everything cheerfully as willed by God? The experiences of the sadhaka during such a yatra would help him immensely in his spiritual progress. Viral Papa gave this child an inner prompting to undertake a yatra to some of the holy places in India, and he left the ashram on the 18th August 1999. An attempt is made to recapture the joy experienced by this child during his travels. A close study of the life of Mahatmas reveals that though they subjected themselves to severe austerities and physical sufferings during the early part of their spiritual journey, they, out of their unbounded love, ensured that none of their followers were exposed to such hardships. In fact, the followers get the best of all facilities wherever they were taken. This was clearly evident in the way in which Viral Papa organized this yatra of this child. This child had no clear idea of the places to be visited, how to reach those places, whom to meet, the duration of his stay in different places, etc. But as he progressed in his yatra, it looked as though someone had gone well in advance to the places of his visit and arranged everything beautifully. All through, this child was made to feel that the very purpose of his yatra was to visit the places where holy men lived, so as to intensely associate with their life and mission, to feel the love and warmth everywhere, and to realize that total reliance on God brings freedom from all so-called tensions, worries, and anxieties. Beloved Papa has stated that during his early years, he was much influenced by the life of teachings of Mahatma Gandhi, Lord Buddha, Lord Jesus, Lord Krishna. In this yatra, he took this child to such places that would help to contemplate upon the life and teachings of these great personages vis-a-vis their influence on Beloved Papa. To be continued. Quotation of Papa. Ramdas, by the grace of God, has found the never-fading joy within himself. What is more, he is blessed with the universal vision, a transcendent state in which he has the experience and consciousness that he is the very truth itself, manifest and beyond. This inexpressible state was attained when the light of divine knowledge illumined and dazzled his soul. The light came through bhakti, vairagya and satsang. One-pointed aspiration for God by Swami Chidananda. Worshipful homage unto the great reality, the Brahman of the Upanishads, that which is experienced by sages and seers of self-discipline, purity, intense aspiration, perseverance and determination. Those who give that reality the greatest of all values, who regard it as the supreme value, who gave it top priority, the central place in their life, qualify for the attainment of that great reality. If that great reality counts as number 2 in one's own self-valuation, then long shall one have to wait. If it is one among many goals, if it does not occupy the central place in one's scheme of life, then one has to wait long. Making that great reality the goal of one's life to the exclusion of all other lesser goals, thus indeed do they describe the nature of true aspiration. Ekagrata, one-pointedness; Ananyata, single-mindedness; Abhyavicharini, total dedication, are words used in connection with aspiration and devotion. So it cannot be even number 2. No? Gurudev during his sadhana days embodied all these hallmarks of an ideal sadhaka and seeker to the highest possible degree. Total dedication to the idea of God realization. One-pointed devotion to sadhana. Absorption in the great struggle. Setting aside all other consideration, making this his sole goal and wholeheartedly striving for it with all his heart and mind. Day and night he lived for the great attainment. Therefore the attainment was his. All the great ones manifested in their lives, in their inner spiritual life and struggle, this total dedication. This we must learn from them, receive and absorb from them. We must try diligently, sincerely, earnestly to gradually come to a state where no other consideration weighs more with us than God. To a state where God fills our entire life. He becomes the most important thing. This indeed is the common factor in the lives of all great ones. This is the one thing worth asking for. We worship God, we try to please Him by various means so that He may make our lives comfortable, prosperous, successful, happy, long-lived. But seldom does one anyone ask Him for devotion and devotion alone. One-pointed aspiration for Him and Him alone. Everyone wants things created by God, but very few indeed want the Creator and the Creator alone, Him and Him alone. Now what you have created, O Lord, I aspire for. Not what you have created, O Lord, I aspire. Only I aspire for Thee and Thee alone. In this way, those who brush aside all created things as being of little worth and value, and set their heart on the one who is the source and origin of all things, they attain him. Mameva ye prapadyante, maya metam tarantite. This is from Bhagavad Gita. Devi Shesha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya. It is very difficult to cross over, but it can be crossed over. Only those who take refuge in me alone cross over this illusion. This is the world of things. You should ask for that being who is beyond all things, the thing in itself. If you ask for lesser things, you get lesser things. He gives immediately what you aspire for. Whatever you ask, that is given. So we have to be careful about what we ask of God, because He is a wish-yielding tree. Take away all desire from my heart, O Lord. May I not want anything except Thee and Thee alone. This is what one should ask from the Supreme Being. May you all aspire for that, ask for that, earnestly long for that, and pray for that. T capital, no? Reading it is easy. The hearer will not be able to understand. That means. THAT, here it is, that means that power, that reality. All T capital. May you aspire for that, ask for that, earnestly long for that, pray for that. May you all attain that in this very life and become forever blessed. While going through Yoga Vasishtha, we happened to read, it was a dialogue between Sun and the Brahma. So in the dialogue he says, anything created with material, matter, it is perishable. But any sankalpa comes in the mind, it stays there. We are trying to go through that now. I see a matter, but if I don't see God in this, that is it is a introverted inward journey only that enables me to see the reality in it. That is imperishable, but the other one is perishable. So matter bound, materially founded, all those things are perishable. But the same matter stays in the form, so for example, Papa's form, or Baba's form, or anybody, Ramana Bhagavan's form. Anything that stays with us. Why, It is the mental, it's not the physical level. Through the mind, God made us to accept that they are all fullest revelations of the Almighty. Till we drop this body, till we drop the sense of individuality, it stays with us. But all other things you can watch, right from our childhood. All the creature comforts, all the objects, they keep on moving, changing, dying. This is what he brings it up. So we should say the Creator alone, not the created. Not what you have created, O Lord, I aspire for. I aspire for Thee and Thee alone. So what we superimpose, what we develop, that sankalpa, it matters a lot. So this God dimension means it is a sankalpa, sankalpa associating with a particular object. Then I see the reality there. First it is the sankalpa. I believe in the words of the masters in the Shastras. So when I see the laptop before me, I should know it is a laptop, it is an object. But the same laptop has come because of him, the intelligence behind it, prompted through that particular individual. He was able to organize all the matter vestures And then after trial and error, he was able to bring it out. So all these things, when I do that, I find his hand. Otherwise, if I limit to the laptop, this is good, this is bad, this is okay, this is not okay. And after some time, it crashes, we buy for new one. This happens to every object, every object. So that is why as aspirants, we don't know whether we are right in segregating devotees and aspirants. Normally when we say devotee, devotee prays for everything that makes his life comfortable. But when we say aspirant, he only aspires for garden. Technically it is not right, because technically in Gita, four bhaktas are categorized as four. And there the aspirant is also included. Artha, Artharthi, Jijnasu and Jnani. So everybody is a bhakta, no doubt. But we should know now from our own experience, so we all say bhaktas, but we are all Papa's devotees only. But honestly, touching our heart, can we say that we have ever aspired for God realization? May not be there. So that is what is being mentioned here. What you have created, not that what you have created, O Lord, I aspire for. I aspire for Thee and Thee alone. In this way, those who brush aside all created things, as being of little worth and value, and set their heart on the one who is the source and origin of all things, they attain Him. Mameva ye prabhadyante, maya metam tarantate. Dear children, a man wanted to propitiate a devil to make it to do whatever he wanted. So he did the necessary sadhana to that end, and by the power of some mantra he was able to summon the devil before him. The devil said it would obey his command, but on one condition. If at any time you do not give me work, I will devour you. You must keep me engaged all the 24 hours. The man agreed. He immediately gave an order to build a palace for him. To his great wonder, the palace was built in no time. Then he gave an order for a long road to be made ready. That work was also executed in a short time. Next minute, the devil was standing before him asking for more work. He had no time even to think. He gave an order to build a big town. It was ready within 10 minutes. Now the man was perplexed and afraid. He did not know what new orders to give. If he did not give any work, he would be eaten by the devil. He hastened to a holy man and asked for advice. The holy man suggested that he might get a bamboo pole, plant it in the ground, ask the devil to climb it up and down until further orders. He did so, and the devil was bound to carry out the order. This meant no rest whatever for the devil. Finally, it got disgusted and ran away. Now, in your case, Ram Mantra is the pole, and the ego is the devil that teases you. Ask him to go up and down the pole repeatedly, and you will soon get tired and run away. Ram Nam is given to you in order to subdue the ego. The ego must be made to disappear by its own endeavor. We all know throughout the itinerant period, he was holding on steadfastly. Not only itinerant, from 20 onwards, 22 hours he was chanting means what? So now we understand, especially in the initial stages. And we wonder, we are also chanting. Why ego has not reduced? Simple answer comes. The ego says, I am chanting, The ego has never given way to the reality to accept the ownership of chanting. So I am chanting. I have to go for chanting. That is why bluntly Papa later on said, even if we chant for 100 years, it will not help much. So we should know that the chanting is being done by Him who is within us. So here he says, ask him to go up and down the pole repeatedly and he will soon get tired and run away. Ramnam is given to you in order to subdue your ego. But the ego must be made to disappear by its own endeavor. Epistles of Swami Ramdas, your kind and loving letter with the Canaries manuscript of In Quest of God has been received. Ramdas curiously looked through some portions. You have been successful in conveying the spirit of the original into the translation. Believe always that you are only an instrument in the divine hands. If you do so, there will be no reason left for you to think that you have any drawbacks. The pure divine Shakti will then be known as flowing through you, manifesting as your actions in every field of work. What we finally understand from In Quest of God, he has put it in this letter. Believe always that you are only an instrument in the divine hands. If you do so, there will be no reason left for you to think that you have any drawbacks. The pure divine Shakti will then be known as flowing through you, manifesting as your actions in every field of work. In memoriam, V.S. Ramanan, aged 86, the former president of Sri Ramanashram, attained the holy feet of the Lord on 21st July 2020. Justice C.S. Arunachalam, aged 86, the former Chief Justice of Madras High Court and President of Yogi Ram Surat Kumar Ashram at Tirunnamalai, also dropped his mortal coil on the 22nd July 2020. Sri Shivacharan Gupta, aged 74, of the Sagarlal Gupta family, a veteran devotee of the ashram from Hyderabad, was also called by Virat Papa on 12th July 2020. All members of Sagarlal Gupta family have been deeply devoted to Virat Papa, Puja Mataji, Puja Swamiji since the early 1950s. They have also been closely associating with the ashram activities ever since. We pray for Virat Papa's blessings on the dear departed soul for eternal rest and peace at his lotus feet. 15,500 crore Namjapi Yajna for world peace. The total japa received in the third round of the 15,500 crore Namjapi Yajna for world peace in the month of July is 180 crores. The grand total of the japa done so far in this round now stands at 8,376 crores. 117th Jayanti of Puja Mataji Krishnabai. Puja Mataji Krishnabai's 117th Jayanti will be celebrated on the 17th of this month, that means September. On this sacred occasion, the Vision offers its humble homage to Puja Mataji with a prayer to bless all devotees with intensity to translate spiritual values in their daily life. Thought for the month: all sadhana is for keeping remembrance of God unbroken. Remembrance is darshan. Elsewhere he will say remembrance, darshan, grace, they are all synonyms. The name is the link between the devotee and God. It brings the devotee face to face with him, enables him to realize oneness with him. So that is how the vision for September closes. But we will have since there is time involved, we will again go through points to look for while reading In Quest of God. Understanding the great void, trust, surrender, universal vision, meditate and chant, constant dialogue with him. Everything is his, nothing is ours. Everything happens only by his will. Me and mine is the hurdle. Periodical solitude, freedom from conditionings, universality of religion, saguna and nirguna aspects of the truth, sacrifice. Ram's tests come at all times, unawares. Awareness of his grace. Once when we, in our satsang session, when we took it up, many a time we have taken it up. We will share one experience with you. Yes, correct. Couple of years back, we went to Calicut. Before that, 15 days prior to that, we distributed In Quest of God to 30 or 35 or 40, I don't remember exactly. Selected devotees who do the reading and manana. And then after 15 days, just now we remembered, we requested them to have a list of people who are deeply interested in going through intensely on In Quest of God. And so we distributed text books and took them, and then we gave them 15 days, something like that. And after 15 days, there was a 1.5 day session. In a relatively peaceful area in the city, where you don't even get the vehicle disturbance. They had arranged for it, and they all assembled exactly at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then we had framed some questions relating to our workaday life. What is it that stays with us? So connecting up these questions where we read, we don't dissolve. We give the question and they will write their answers. This 8 to 12:30, 4.5 hours, mind you, we would have hardly talked for half an hour. Everyone started going deeper into it, then they brought out their own revelations. And then somebody reminded time for meals. So they had arranged a simple one, kanji or something like that, and one. Everybody went, immediately, silently took, finished everything in 10 minutes, they were back again. And till 6 o'clock we were again sitting. Just imagine. We were feeling not comfortable. So I said, we should have a break, please. Then for half an hour there was a break, and again we are reassembled. Some more questions were there, so we said tomorrow. One, I think high school going girl or 10th standard. She was also one among them. So at the end of the day, was it boring? Was it too heavy? And everybody said no. And this girl, so far, we have been told to hear, to read. Never we have been told to bring out our answers. So in that way, this was very interesting. And nobody passes any judgment, This answer is right, this answer is wrong. Every answer was right. Everyone was viewing it from their own angle. And next day we thought, next day afternoon we have to leave. So again we said 8 o'clock to 12:30. Everybody was there at 8 o'clock. And again the session started. By about 11:30, 12 o'clock, they completed the whole, and then we had a small Ramnam session for half an hour, and then Arati, then we had our lunch. By 1 o'clock we left. Why we mention, it is not that, it is not possible for people who are preoccupied. On those days there was no corona. Everybody was involved in with their own activities, their own field activities, commitments, responsibilities, whatever you call it. But still they found time, applied their mind. And we specifically told, this is not an examination hall. If we go and try to make use of it, it will something will stay with us that will help us. Because In Quest of God is such a book that it is not meant for anybody else, it's for our own. Just like when we go through Bhagavad Gita, it is for our own, So we take it that it is not a narrative of Papa. Every time when we travel with him, he takes us to himself and he makes us to realize what should be done when you handle men and matters. And the revelations came, it was beautiful. So that sort of an exercise, we can't do it now here. But suppose any of the hearers you feel like doing it, you can try and then you can come to us through this, what do you call it?
Online.
Google Meet. And then you can inform 5 people, 10 people, and take the lead in organizing it. We will also be one among them. So that what the revelations come out to you, you can share it with 5 or 6 or 10 people whom you feel. So with all the inputs Papa has been giving so far, suppose we try to apply, never bringing our own individual name in it. What we have witnessed, what others have done to us, that otherwise, the ego will again creep into, So in that experiment, nobody said, I was able to do this or I was able to do that, I know nothing. I was able to witness this when I was wrong, when I was slipping. He did this. Though even now I slip, he now makes me understand that he is there, he is there as a sentinel, So like that, we will ensure that during that session, we will not allow the ego to come and play. So that means, it is an exercise. It is really a test on our part to see whether we are doing it everything dispassionately, without owning up anything. So this is a thought that came to us. Now we remember many things. Sometime during 2004 or 5, first we made a beginning about this In Quest of God, between the lines. Chapter by chapter we went through, and then whatever that stands out, we used to share in the
Beyond the text.
Beyond the text, beyond the text. We brought it. Then we thought we should not print this. If we print this, that becomes the base. Nobody will go inside. So then we only started sharing this. So first we observed Mataji's 11 times. That was, we get to be blunt, skipping it through. We completed that. But it really gave us something that we should not live like that. And then we started thinking about beyond the words. Chapter by chapter we went, and then we typed out and we stored it. And the next one was to share it in our satsang here. Many people may remember. And then again we reread. And then came, we don't know how it came now on a very intense level. Somehow it came, it was not planned, they planned. We started with, when we started this session through this internet, first was In Search of Papa, you remember? And from there, God is everywhere. So like that, it was going. Then finally, he mysteriously made us to land on In Quest of God. And then gave the prompting to go intensely. So what we are trying to understand, Mataji is asking us to take up 11 times. It did not go in vain. Mataji dropped the body in 89. But the first trial of reading this 11 times for 11 days It must have happened in 2000 or 2001. And then you see how slowly, it was not all of a sudden we started this. Now we see there is an order, there is a chronological order in this. And how he made us to go through it again and again and again and again. Reading and rereading, reading and rereading, reading and rereading. That finally gave us the push to do some more inner exploration. Even now it is comma only. But it definitely gives us more and more clarity. And the whole thing will become useful only if we start translating this in our workaday life, in our daily life. Whether in ashram, or in our family, or in the professional field, or with our friends, wherever we are. Unless and until an earnest effort is made to translate this, we will not be able to derive the fullest benefit. So today, suddenly, she made us to remember, you were reading In Quest of God many a time before, have led you to concentrate on what I asked you to do 11 times. Though for many years you did not accede to this, then it made your reading, your constant reading made you to take up this 11 times. This 11 times reading, after that, slowly, it started boring inside, and that it made you to take up beyond the text, chapter by chapter. And then we know what had happened. In so many places we have taken up this satsang, In Quest of God.
Chennai people also written Swamiji, they Prem Nagar with 5.
So it was there. But this time it is a little more deeper. So to reach this stage, all those preparatory measures were necessary. So this itself proves how we are being led, from stage to stage. We will not be able to understand what we have understood now at the first stage or second stage or third stage. Now every word, we look at it with that. What is it there for me to imbibe, to remember, to see whether it is applicable, feasible in my life. So let these thoughts well up in our hearts, and pray to Papa and Mataji from the bottom of our heart. Not merely thank them, we are deeply grateful to them. It is not for their love and concern for us, otherwise the prompting will not come. Now somewhere in the mind, in a corner of the mind, whatever that they have made us to pass through, it will be there. Now every now and then we have to, blow it up. Otherwise again it may get rusted. It may be there, but it may get rusted. So let us all do the blowing up every day and try to do something like what we suggested. Let us not worry about the numbers. Numbers do not matter much. What is more important is the real benefit one gets by it. So we pray to them to bless us. You have given these sankalpas to us, and make it successful, please, so that our move towards you become more and more closer. Hari Om. Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram. 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 Om Shri Ram, Jai Ram, राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय जय 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 राम ओम श्री राम जय राम जय